How's this for a story? Atomic weapons, UFOs, aliens, and a trip to ancient Egypt. And it all happens in the Mojave. In the vast Mojave, there's two things that are easy to get. One is sunstroke, and the other is a good UFO story. And today's clicks all the boxes. During the 1950s, as the Cold War between America and the Soviet Union began to heat up, the U.S. government conducted numerous underground and open-air tests of nuclear weapons in the Mojave and surrounding deserts. Some of these massive open-air blasts, apart from the later horrific environmental and public health threats, had quite unexpected results. One such story comes from 1953, when the government conducted a huge open test at the Yucca Flats testing grounds in Nevada. The test went as expected, but years later, and to this day, stories have emerged that something else happened during the May test. The tales intertwine, but supposedly an object was either observed or tracked in the atmosphere at the time of the blast, and was later seen to streak toward the ground and crash into the rugged desert mountains to the north of Kingman, Arizona. Soon, troops and special squads were dispatched to the area to find the object and retrieve any wreckage if possible. And, as seems to be the norm in these type of stories, what they found was not so much scattered wreckage, but the almost complete hull of a spacecraft of some kind. But instead of a flying saucer, it was described as being more along the lines of a flattened cigar-shaped device. But that wasn't all. Inside the strange craft were, you guessed it, the remains of several small human-like beings, with one allegedly still alive and relatively unhurt. It was obvious that he, or it, was clearly not from this planet, and it didn't take long for the alien visitor to be placed into custody and, along with the other bodies and wreckage of their craft, loaded aboard a special Air Force cargo plane and whisked off to Wright-Patterson Air Base in Ohio. The ground was swept clean and the incident was forgotten. But was it? Now, so far this might seem kind of like a Roswell retread, and in some aspects it is, but all UFO stories have little incidents in them that either make them believable or not believable. And this one is about to take a left turn. According to some researchers, there were other people on the ground who witnessed the crash and arrived on the scene well before the Army. Native American sheep herders in the area supposedly saw the craft come down, and upon hurrying to the site, saw the ship. But whether or not they encountered aliens, living or otherwise, is not known. But what was reported is that for some reason they decided to gather up some of the wreckage and take it away without telling anybody. Until years later, a man reportedly claimed that they had turned it over to him and he had buried it in the desert for safekeeping, stored in a large trunk. The Army never got their hands on it, and although they were supposed to have questioned the man intensely, as far as this part of the story goes, the box is still out there. Now the next bit of tale gets downright wacky. Supposedly, the surviving alien, now in U.S. custody, decided he would cooperate with authorities, and after introducing himself as a being named J-Rod, began to instruct and assist our scientists in figuring out his and other alien craft allegedly also kept at what must have been an awfully full hangar at Wright-Patterson. I found numerous accounts of this captured alien that contained tidbits like he loved strawberry ice cream, that his race had started out on Earth thousands of years ago before venturing into space and now had returned and hoped to live in peace with us, and that he eventually departed back to wherever by being taken to Egypt and pushed through the remains of an ancient stargate.
Now you got to admit, this was a hell of a story. Now it might interest you to learn that between 1949 and 1963, there were over 5 purported UFO crashes in the Mojave Desert alone. And each one of them has a story attached about the Army trying to cover stuff up, witnesses finding things, and a surviving alien. Although only this one has one that liked strawberry ice cream. Oh, and went back through a stargate. I'm ML Behrman. I'll see you next time. Hey guys, as always, thanks for watching the video. I'd like to personally invite you to subscribe to the channel, and if you did like this, please give it a thumbs up. It really does help. Thanks.